Hammers, build your body and your bank. Check out how to earn 10K per month plus with my business intelligence, finance technology, consultant training accelerator program. Link in the description. Hammers, welcome back. All right, it's time for a workout. And same story as usual, really. It's 2:25 in the morning. I extracted myself from the computer. What's on the agenda for today? We continue our mission to get to 180 pounds at 8% body fat. I started at 130 pounds. I was out of shape. I started working out. I started putting on muscle. I started taking it seriously. And then I wanted to see how far I could push it. And I used to work out really heavily before, like over a decade ago, but the bug caught me again. So I am on a 50-pound bulk. It is a multi-year bulk. It is a lean bulk. But I am done 40 pounds of it. So I got from 130 to 170. What are we doing today? We are doing chest and back. I like to do back first because it's harder to train, but we're doing back and chest, and I'm treating it like a drill. I'm going to get off, disconnect myself from my work that I was doing. The work that I was doing was launching my training academy. I got up from my computer and I just came straight to the gym, and not in my gym pants either, but it's 2 in the morning, so I don't think it matters. My last leg workout was on point and my legs are still sore. I'm working out every 48 hours. Before it was after a 24-hour break, now it's after a 48-hour break. And the question, is it possible for a natural bodybuilder, natural athlete to put on 50 pounds of muscle? The answer is, of course it is. Because if it was, then I wouldn't be doing this. So, of course it is. But I have to prove it to myself. That's my hypothesis. So now it's been 3.5 years. In 24 months, I put on 30 pounds. So that was the bulk of the gains. Then they slowed down. But last 10 pounds to go. So that is the game plan for back and chest. It's going to be 3 supersets of pull-ups, each with partial reps. Then seated rows, 1 ignition set, 1 working set, triple drop set with partial reps. Then 2 sets of deadlifts after 1 warm-up. And then 3 supersets of bench press. Each is a drop set. And then 2 supersets dips, supersetted with lengthened partial reps at the very deepest point, which has gotten my chest to explode. And we are here, and I shall see you guys inside. All right, I am going to skip stair climber today. I'm just going to do these stretches right here. And then I'm going to jump straight into 3 sets of pull-ups. Probably should do straight climber. Core raises the core temperature and all of that, but I'll use these pull-ups as warm-up, and that's my game plan. All right, so I need 18, and the thing with these is I want them ultra clean. It's not something I want to rush. I want perfect form, so numbers are secondary, form is first. And for that, I need my proper focus. So I do like to take 10 seconds, get myself ready, 30 seconds or whatever, because it's important. I need to make sure I do it right. My game plan is to get 5 ultra clean, next 5 clean, take a hanging rest pause if needed, and then don't rush it. So that's the mental game plan that I'm going in with. And then of course partials at the end, as always. All right, I'll take my hanging rest pause at 14. And then partials. All right, set number 2. Pretty happy with set number 1. That's 18 clean reps and the 5 half reps. Set number 2 is 10 plus 5. I took a 1 minute and 45 second break. Same thing, take a rest pause as needed to get there. All right, rest pause time. That's 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, so set number 3, 7 plus 3, last set. Last one. All right, partials. All right, so I just did 3 sets of pull-ups with partial reps, but I'm gonna superset them with trap work since I'm already here. I either do it in the beginning or at the end usually, but I'm already here with the same bars, so let's do that. Okay, so the way I like to do traps is first set is what I call ignition set, which is Athlete X's way of saying get the muscle pre-exhausted so it responds better to the next set. So the first one, that's what I do. And then the next one, it'll be 1 working set and I'll do a triple drop set. So my aim is to be efficient with the accessory muscle and get them roasted, and 2 working sets with drop sets should be enough. Also, my grip is giving me trouble after the pull-ups, after supersetting them, so let's see. You know what, I'm gonna do these with rest pauses. The first one, so rest pauses, it takes you to near failure, then it recovers a little bit, and then you continue it, which I do really like, so I'll do an extended ignition set. You want to lean forward for these a little bit, since the traps run to your upper mid back. When you lean forward, it hits them better. I'm going to pause there. All right, first and only working set, hopefully, if I get this right. Okay, so I will do a rest pause with the first because it's the heavy weight. I want to get a bit more heavy reps in. My grip is failing. Maybe if I do it the other way. I'm going to do them in 3 since my grip is failing. Maybe I'll do it opposite grip, although that's not ideal. And then I'll rotate it to balance it out. Alright, so I'm having a hard time hitting traps because my grip strength is gone. Maybe supersetting them after pull-ups is not a good idea. In that case, I'll lower the weight. Okay, I'm gonna do one more set because I'm having a hard time hitting these. Not bad, but they're not exhausted. All right, so game plan. I'm going to double superset this, and when my grip fails, I'm gonna switch to plate shrugs, which has a better grip. All right, that's better. I'll do rest pauses. Trying to figure out a way to hit the traps with the failing grip. And if you guys can believe it, these pants used to be baggy on me up until I started doing 20 rep squats, 9 sets for the first year, 1 year, and they blew up. Now I do 6 sets, but that's how I got them to blow up. 20 rep hack squats. Okay, grip is failing. I'm gonna go opposite grip. Definitely hits my right trap more. So I'll do the same number of reps on the other side. And then I'm gonna jump straight into, okay, now they feel pretty exhausted. I'm gonna jump straight into plate shrugs. I want to put my thumbs underneath as well instead of wrapping it around, which gives me extra grip. Of course, you shouldn't do that on bench press because it's dangerous, but this grip on the plate shrug is fine. On bench press, you should use this grip, not the thumb under. All right, so they're about 95% there. And the burning is to the point where I can barely lift them up now, which is perfect. So I'll take a 10-second rest pause and then go at it again. And that should do it. All right, sweet. I got the traps exhausted. Okay, so next is seated rows. All right, I think I'm gonna do, what's this called? Barbell row. So this is more of an old school movement, but I always do seated rows. And this is supposed to be a really good movement as well. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I actually don't know what weight to use because I haven't done this in years. And it's a good idea to look up how to do an exercise before you do it. Usually I would do that, but I'm going to use deadlifting best practices and rowing best practices, which is to keep your back straight and then go deep, get the stretch, and do it nice and slow. So I'll start with 45-pound plate. Hopefully it's not too heavy. Let's see how that goes. Not bad. I'm gonna watch a video on how to do this though to make sure I'm doing it right. All right, so it's actually called a T-bar row, and more or less I was doing it properly, but after watching a video now I know why this is here, because you can put it underneath and instead of gripping it, you can use this. And basically you get as parallel to the floor as you can. Now, I felt like this was like hitting me in the face, so that's why I thought I was doing it wrong, but I'll continue. Oh yeah, that's better with this handle thing. I'll do one more ignition set and then I'll do a drop set. Oh, I feel it in my lats more than seated rows. Maybe that's not true, but this does feel good. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna pause there. That's the second ignition set. All right, that felt really good actually. So maybe I'm gonna replace the seated row with T-bar row. So seated row, I usually do one ignition set and then triple drop set, each with partial reps. But I've been doing that for over a year, so I'll consider this a trial period. And I'm debating if I should add partials to this, but I'll do it the same way. First set will be ignition set with 20 reps. And normally I'll just do one ignition set and then I'll do a triple drop set. So I'm gonna play it by ear. Maybe I'll throw the partials in it now because I just want to do one working set. So triple drop set with partials usually means that I can exhaust it in one working set. Wow, that feels good. Now, I want to make sure I keep my abs tight so I don't throw out my back. Okay, drop set. That's pretty challenging. I'm going to take a little bit longer rest pause. Definitely feel it in the lats. Back is one of those muscles that it's hard to get fatigued. You just get tired, but the muscle doesn't really get fatigued. I feel it, but chest, if you're pushing and it gives out, you're done, it drops, the weight drops. With this, you can still keep doing little partials. So pulling exercises are weird that way. So with that in mind, I'll just continue the drop set. The last drop set was a good idea because I found failure. All right, so I'm about 50 minutes into my workout and I spent most of my workout budget on back. And the T-bar rows I had to experiment with a little bit. And usually I wouldn't do 2 ignition sets, but I think for deadlifts, I'm gonna remove the 25-pound warm up. I'll just jump straight into the 45-pound. So that'll save me some time. And then after that will be the 45 and 25. And I'll progressively overload this set number 2. So I think usually once I get the hang of it with T-bar rows, I should be able to get it back to an hour. And I will put in T-bar rows instead of seated rows because that felt really good. All right, let's do some deadlifts. Yeah, I'm hoping my back is warmed up from the T-bar rows, so I shouldn't need the 25 pounds anymore. I am push the rep range a little bit higher because I'm removing one set, so I'll do 15 on the first. All right, so 45 pound plate, 25 pound plate. And I've been doing this for the past just 3 workouts or so, maybe 4. And I'm gonna overload these slowly because I added deadlifts after 3 years into my working out. I was doing 9 sets to 20 rep squats for over a year, maybe 2 years. So I thought that was fine for full body exercise. But I want to overload these slowly, partly because I want to enjoy it and partly because last time I did it, I turned a lot more red than I expected. So I'll make sure I progressively overload these in a fashion where I'm not rushing them. That way my form stays good. So I'm going to go for 8 reps. All right, I'm definitely not ready to increase the weight, so that's perfect. All right, time for bench press. Time for chest. So this is a warm-up, not an ignition set. So an ignition set has the element of trying to pre-exhaust it. This warm-up is literally just the warm-up to get the muscle ready for a max lift. Chest. So I spent about 50 minutes working out back, and in 10 minutes I'll have hit chest so nicely that is growing about 80% faster than my back. So I don't know what it is about chest, but the mind muscle connection, the ability to push to failure, just it's a much easier muscle to work out for me anyways. So I'm going to do 3 supersets of bench press. First set's going to be 45 pound plate, 25 pound plate. I'm going to go for 9 reps. Usually I am able to get 9 reps, but of course there's no safety bar here, so I'm always a little bit hesitant, but I'm probably going to go for it. Even if I drop the weight, I don't think it should be a big deal. All right, so I'm gonna go for 9 plus 7. And for me, this is the most important part of the workout. If I can get this, it's a good workout. All right, sweet. Okay, so drop set. 7 more. So I've been hitting nine reps on the first set pretty consistently for maybe 5 or 10 workouts now, but it's getting easier. So I know soon I'll have another rep. And as I get more reps, that means the muscle size will increase. So that's the name of the game with progressive overload. That's why I track the reps. All right, so the aim here on this set number 2 is 4 and then 6 on the drop set. And even the first set, just that one set, my chest has a crazy pump, more than the whole back workout, just from one superset. All right, 4 plus 6. That was a little tricky. I'm not as concerned with hitting the reps on the drop set as the primary set, but that fourth one felt like it might not have showed up. It's also about 3:45 a.m. now, so the strength is a little weaker. One more. All right, last set. Excitement returns. End of the workout is near. After this, without taking a break, I'll do dips with partial reps at the end. Super deep dips. Now, it's about 4 in the morning. So I'll go back to my workstation, my computer, and work till about 6, maybe 7 a.m. And I'll just make a commentary about that. Pretty interesting schedule, but it's been working well for me. I wake up at 2 p.m. and I work till 7 a.m. And then I do my workouts around 2 a.m., 4 a.m. And I'm not saying do this. I'm not like, of course, if you're waking up at 5, 6, 7 a.m. and you're having a productive day, don't change to this schedule by any means. However, I approach this with the mentality, just push as many hours in a day as I can. And slowly this schedule emerged. And usually I would have just dismissed it, but I remember watching a segment with Floyd Mayweather, and he woke up at 2 p.m. and went to bed at 6 a.m. So that got me thinking maybe I'll try it. Because undefeated boxing champion and all, he could just be trolling those. So I don't know if he actually did that, but all right, 4 plus 6. That fourth one almost did not get there, for real. I thought that might be my first droppage, but so maybe that's the effects of working out with a 48-hour gap instead of every other day like I usually do. Because that fourth one was hard. That's fine. In fact, I think I'm going to drop this weight on myself on purpose because it's just 45-pound plate. Just to get some practice of what to do if that actually happens. All right, not bad. Just put it on your hips and roll it off. All right, last exercise, dips. I like to just superset these with the bench press because my workout is usually getting along in the tooth by this time, and I don't progressively overload these. I go for the stretch on this one. So I go really deep, but work your way up to here because I've been doing this for a few years and I slowly worked up to this. And then partials. So I play it by ear on those. If the shoulder's feeling a little off, I won't go as deep. Otherwise, the stretch is, you pay the penalty on shoulders a little bit, but the stretch on the chest is insane. It works really well. All right, set number 2. 5 reps of dips, maybe 4. Superset it with partial reps. Last exercise. Super deep. All right, that was failure. All right, let's go check out the pump. Pretty good workout. I like the T-bar rows. All right, so let's check out the pump. And I'm gonna run back. Okay, so front relax with the vacuum. Rear relaxed. I only call it relaxed, rear lat spread, because I don't know how to do rear relaxed. I think this is what they call rear relaxed, which is actually a full flare. Rear double bicep. Let's do side chest since we just worked out chest. Let's do most muscular. Front double bicep. Front lat spread. Thigh and abs. Guys, that's it. I'm gonna get back to what I need to do. It was a good workout. I'll see you guys next for arms, biceps, triceps, shoulders. Same thing, supersets, drop sets, partial reps, rest pauses, and all that. I'll see you guys in 2 days. Hey, are you interested in project management consulting? Check out my blog where you can get a free roadmap on how to earn $10,000 per month or more in BI-FinTech consulting. That's business intelligence, finance technology consulting. Pretty much that's a fancy way of saying project management consulting in software data projects. This is my core expertise. I studied aerospace engineering, then pivoted, then became a professional project manager and cloud solutions architect. I can teach you how to do this. If you're looking to supercharge your career, be sure to check out my blog and roadmap. Totally for free, link in the description.